Hello, virtuous thought leaders, scholars, and virtue change agents. My name is Dr. Lisa Marie Portugal, and I am the Leadership Architect. I'd like to welcome you today to a talk that I have prepared for you and in service to you and your goals. This talk is called the Action Observation Reflection Model, and it is based off of one of my many books called A Culture of Excellence: Virtuous Leadership Principles for Organizational Success, a Management System. And the cover slide there is also the cover of the book called The Four Cardinal Virtues: Prudence, Justice, Fortitude, and Temperance. We cannot achieve greatness or magnanimity unless and until we master the virtues within ourselves. Reaching greatness or magnanimity is about virtue building within ourselves, our families, communities, and others. We cannot achieve magnanimity until fortitude, self-control, counsel, justice, prudence, understanding, respect for others, temperance, humility, charity, piety, and courage are present first within us. We cannot give to others what we do not possess ourselves. So understanding how to master ourselves and build virtue is the first, ongoing, and last step required for magnanimity. And mastering the virtues is a lifelong and ongoing process throughout our entire lives. When we fall, pick yourself up and start the practice of virtue building again. And do this throughout your life. Magnanimity is an ongoing process and a focus we should have throughout our lives. It is also a focus we should have for working with, mentoring, and coaching others to their greatness. We can build virtue within ourselves and help others in our sphere of influence to achieve greatness in their own lives by teaching the virtues and living the virtues in everything we do. I'd like to invite you today and every day to live virtuously. Okay, so the table of contents about Dr. Portugal page, the Action Observation Reflection Model, Experiential Learning, AOR Model and Experiential Learning Opportunities, the Experience Spiral in Action Observation Model, Professional Leadership when dealing with individuals in the workplace, and in conclusion, a leader's brand and style. And I hope if you listen to this talk and any of my other talks, you will start to think deeply and critically about what you want your leadership brand and style to look like and be to represent you. Okay, so throughout this talk, I have some interesting graphics, a lot of them our King and leader, Jesus Christ. Here's a beautiful one. He is our true leader and a perfect gentleman, right? So I, as well as you, I hope, want to model my leadership style after our King and leader. You know, I can't come anywhere near our leader and King, but I try, and as I said in the introduction, every time I fail, I pick myself up and start again, right? And actually, this is a great time for me to stop and make a correction from a couple of talks back when I was talking about management and ethics. One of the Greek philosophers, I made a mistake on the pronunciation. I pronounced it Pyrrhonian. There is no and H in Pyrrhonian. The real pronunciation for this Greek philosopher is Pyrrhonian. The H is silent. There's no A in there. So it's Pyrrhonian, the Pyrrhonian skeptics. Okay, and I thought I'd add some pictures of myself here. Usually I don't like adding pictures of myself, but in my talks, but I decided to do that here at number 12 in. So there you go. There I am with my Indian jewelry. I love collecting Indian jewelry. Okay, so let's continue on. The Action Observation Reflection Model. Oh, and I also wanted to let you know that this talk will be the start of some other talks that will come after this. I had to break up the AOR model over a couple of talks because there's a lot of content, and I wanted to give you time to reflect in between. So this will be the start of other talks that are of the same content. This discussion examines the action observation reflection model, or the AOR model, to build leadership competencies through the process of experiential learning opportunities and self-reflection. Both of those concepts are very important, and we're going to talk more deeply about them. If you are an educator, or if you're teaching others any other content that is, in your expertise, we always want to remember providing experiential learning opportunities, authentic based, meaning hands-on practice opportunities, and then teach self-reflection. I know a lot of things come to me and ideas for anything that I'm working on through self-reflection and quiet time when I'm thinking. So we have to teach that as a skill also. So professional leadership approaches when dealing with individuals in the workplace are presented. In addition, leading through activities in professional associations with others is examined. Finally, an analysis of leadership experience relating to goals, abilities, standards, and perceptions is explored. Leadership enrichment can involve a self-reflection continuum of learning based on the AOR model. And that's what you're doing today. By listening to me, you are practicing leadership enrichment for yourself. The experience spiral in action observation model graphic is included, and we will get to that on another slide and talk about that with a little more depth. Okay, so let's talk about experiential learning. Experiential learning helps individuals learn from experiences if they spend time thinking about and reflecting upon those experiences to produce change within the individual. The notion of experiential learning is further advanced in leadership growth through the AOR model. And that is, as I said before, is what you are doing today. The notion, you know what? I already said that, so let's continue on. Competencies in leadership development can be strengthened and enhanced if learning experiences involve three distinct process mechanisms, such as action, you're taking action today, observation, and reflection. When an individual acts without observing the consequences of his or her actions, or does not contemplate upon the meaning and significance of his or her actions, then learning from an experience has not taken place in a comprehensive and meaningful manner. So to kind of break it down for you, you're taking action today, you're listening and observing, you're going through this talk with me, and later you're going to reflect on a lot of these ideas that you're picking up, and then you're going to put them into action as well, right? So, and you're going to give others experiential learning opportunities for them to learn the way you're learning, right? Okay, so let's go to the next slide where we're going to talk about the AOR model and experiential learning opportunities. For example, time on the job does not necessarily influence leadership growth and development if an individual has not observed consequences of his or her actions or has not reflected upon how to change actions resulting in improved leadership. Leadership development can be better understood as growth emanating from repeating movements throughout each stage of the AOR model during experiential learning opportunities. The AOR model provides a constructive mechanism for individuals to develop leadership competencies along an experiential spiral of self-reflection. And again, I can't stress how important self-reflection is. I remember when I was younger and people would bring that up, I had no clue what that really meant, right? So hopefully we'll be able to break it down for you. So the following figure represents the AOR experience spiral model in the AOR model. So let's get over to that. All right, here we go. We've got experience on the bottom, experience on the top left, and experience on the top right, right? Let's start with action. What did you do? Observation, what happened? Results, what were the impacts that it had on others or yourself? And then reflection, how do you look at it now? How do you feel about it now? And this is an ongoing process that I engage with regularly, right? When I reflect on many things that I'm working on, ideas will come to me in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. Even when you do interviews, for example, I've had many unsuccessful interviews in the past, right? Continue to do that, right? So I notice that even though we're disappointed if something, fruitful didn't come out of an interview, you can start thinking about every single word, go over all the words you said, all the ideas and concepts you presented. What did you forget to present? Write it down, and then how am I going to improve that for the next interview opportunity? And something that I do, just on a personal note, any interview that I am offered, I always take the interview because it gives me another opportunity to practice, right? So I don't look at interviews being upsetting to me if I didn't get the opportunity. I look at it as, okay, what can I do? What can I say? How can I behave differently? Or or showcase myself in a different way so that it translates the meaning that I'm trying to intend for someone to understand. Did they actually get that meaning? So, you want to think about different ways that you can change whatever actions you took or whatever things that you said that you can improve upon, right? So this AOR model helps us to do that. So self-reflection, as I said before, is very important. A significant key to gaining new leadership competencies is having the ability to observe, self-reflect, and alter behaviors in a continuum of learning throughout one's career. These lifelong habits should be cultivated in a systematic approach to learning. In addition, these high expectation habits can be taught to others to aid in the development of their leadership skills as well. Okay, so let's continue on to the next slide. Professional leadership when dealing with individuals in the workplace. All right, so this slide is kind of packed, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to add all of them here. And if you have any others that you can think of as well after you self-reflect when this talk is over, let's take a look at them. Professionalism in the workplace is a skill set that can be learned and is not always an innate knowledge that individuals effortlessly and intrinsically possess. I know I don't effortlessly and intrinsically possess these action items here, but I'm always working on them. Below are various ways individuals can remain professional in the workplace when dealing with others. Okay, so let's take a look at some of those. Avoiding negative office politics. The gossip. I know we all like to participate in that, but that's something that we should avoid, right? Finding common ground with others. That's important, especially if we want to spread our Christian virtues and values to the world and to others that we're communicating with on a daily basis. Finding ways to appreciate and elevate others. That is very important to me. And I'm doing that to you now by creating these talks for you. There are many different creative ways that we can do that. I have a lot of different ways that I do it, but that to me is very, very important. Being mindful of one's place in the larger company structure. Prioritizing organizational success over personal wins. Getting to know the workplace culture. Being productive, responsive, and attentive. Being dependable, resourceful, and a problem solver. I love that also. All three of those words I love. I pride myself on being a resourceful person. What are other ways that I can communicate with people, as I'm doing here for you today? What are other ways, new, inventive, innovative ways that I can reach and impact people? Honoring commitments. Communicating explicitly and clearly. We want to be simple so that people can understand where we're coming from, and we want to do it in different ways, reaching people at different ability levels and different learning styles. Those are other things that you can research. If you're a teacher and you already understand what learning styles and ability levels are, you can kind of work through that. How do we help people at all different ability levels, all different walks of life, understand us clearly and easily? being prepared to make difficult decisions, not taking things personally or acting emotionally rather than logically and strategically. I like to think logically. I like to be strategic in my thinking and plan ahead so that I can mitigate challenges that may arise. Remaining fearless with humility, responding decisively, taking accountability. I love all of those. Respecting others. So important, right? Everyone has value. Everyone can contribute. Valuing the contributions of others. Always operating with traditional virtue, morality, and ethics. And, very importantly, modeling the behaviors in self that one desires to observe in others. So how do we change the world? We start by ourselves, right? And that's something that I'm always working on myself. I am not great at virtue either. I have to work on it every single day. I have to commit myself to virtue building in myself every day, and I fail all the time. So whenever I fail, having the humility to recognize that in myself, admit it to myself and to others when I need to, and then, pick up and try again. So those are all skills that we can model and teach others. All right, so in conclusion, a leader's brand and style. I love this Jesus Christ on leadership. If the blind lead the blind, both shall fall in the ditch. That's funny, right? But there we go. So you are educating yourself to become a better leader for your community and for everyone that you engage with on a daily basis, whether it's in your community, your neighborhood, your church, at school, and wherever you work, right? You are a leader, and you should think of yourself as an asset. Wherever you go, you can spread your leadership brand and style and our traditional Christian virtues and values to others. So again, let's take a look here. Furthermore, allowing followers to contribute and test their own ideas is a significant principle in a capable leader's brand and style. And we all want to be capable leaders, right? So competent leaders understand the value of allowing followers to have their own autonomy and creativity. Rather than commanding, begin to influence. Be the last to make the decision and allow followers to have freedom. Encourage everyone to be honest and do not leave anyone behind. People want to change and be better when they feel respected, valued, and heard. I know we all want that. I want that. Having the ability to show followers how skill development can improve their lives is key to successful followership. Leadership curriculum and books offer many ideas for leadership development. Having the ability to be a lifelong learner is essential to personal and professional growth as a leader. And finally, personal responsibility and having the ability to model and teach leadership skills to others is the mark of a true leader. And I already know you are a true leader because you're taking the time to strengthen your leadership skills so that you can improve your life and the lives of others. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It is my honor and my pleasure always to serve you. God bless you, and Merry Christmas. Goodbye.